What if I told you in just 25 days you could lose 43 pounds, heal your body on a cellular level, and reset your metabolism, all without having to count calories or worry about extensive exercise? Hi, I'm Chris James, the creator of a healthy alternative wellness brand, and for nearly a decade, I've helped people transform their lives through fasting. Now, today I'm going to be introducing our most powerful fasting strategy to date. Now, if you've tried every diet, you've counted every calorie, you've worked out for hours, and you're still struggling with stubborn fat, inflammation, and fatigue, you're going to want to listen up. Today, I'm introducing the DR96 Fasting Challenge. Hi, I'm Chris James, and today we've got an exciting topic. We're going to be talking about why rapid weight loss is actually much better than the traditional slow roll weight loss that we are all taught is healthy weight loss. So today, we have our DR96 challenge that's about to start. Actually, right after I launch this live stream, I got to jump over to the other live stream for the call. So if you guys are interested in joining that call, there is still time. You need to join right now. There is going to be a replay available if you do get in after the live stream starts. But I just wanted to let you guys know that we are about to start the most effective fasting protocol that we've ever put together. So if you're interested in that, join us. I'm going to put the link in the comment section and in the description box. Without further ado, you have been told that slow and steady wins the race. We talk about the turtle and the hare. They want us to believe these narratives. So they plant these narratives in us very young. The reality is, what if what we've been taught is not the truth? Have you ever challenged your fundamental beliefs? When it comes to rapid weight loss, if it is done correctly, it could actually be healthier than the slow roll that they have taught us. And hopefully today, I'm going to be able to change your mind about what you think about weight loss, especially as it relates to loose skin. So I've got a few notes here because I want to be concise. And I want to start off talking about, wait, before we do that, let me just tell you guys this. During this call today, I'm going to be talking about a few resources that you can add to your weight loss journey or your wellness journey to help amplify. Okay? I do not want you to be confused when I talk about these to think that you have to use them in order to get the results. These are all amplifications, but they're all amplifications that I highly recommend. I have used them, the coaches have used them, and I wanted to make this video as complete as possible. So I'm just letting you know now that I will be talking about some extra resources. All right, autophagy. That is a resource that your body naturally uses, okay? It's built in, it's anti-aging. Now, why is this important? Well, slow dieting actually doesn't trigger your deep detoxification. But dry fasting and ketosis, when you get into ketosis, they're going to supercharge autophagy, which is your deep cleansing mechanism. It clears out your dead, old, damaged cells, scar tissue, and even excess skin. So once again, when we talk about rapid weight loss, a lot of people think, oh, you're going to get loose skin. Well, we just instantly killed that right off the top of the boat. Autophagy is going to make sure that you do not get loose skin if you're utilizing it properly and if you support your body with the right resources, mainly high water content fruits and vegetables. All right. Now, fasting also has the ability to stimulate stem cell production. Now, we all know what stem cells do, right? Stem cells are those cells that can become anything in the body, anything that's damaged, any systems, organs, or whatever you've got going on, any tissue in the body that is damaged. Stem cells can come in there and start repairing them, okay? So fasting is one of those things that helps increase stem cell production. And I actually, this is where I'm going to talk about my first resource. A year ago, I started using a light therapy patch. Now, I've talked about this many times in the past. I'm not going to go deep into this, but I started using a light therapy patch. This particular one is called the X39. It's from a company by the name of LifeWave. What this patch does is it increases stem cell production by stimulating the body to produce a copper peptide. This copper peptide then tells the body to increase stem cell production. So if you're looking for a quicker disease reversal, wound healing, if you're dealing with like really deep-seated diseases, things of that nature, this stem cell patch will help to upregulate the body holistically. If you couple it with fasting, it becomes an absolute powerhouse. Now, you don't want to use it with dry fasting. but you can use it around your dry fasting. So if you do your preparation, you could use it then. You could use it on your refeeds. You just don't want to use it while you're dry fasting, because you always want to make sure to have a surplus of hydration when you use the patches. But you can also use it with water fasting. So if you can use it while you're water fasting, it will work magic. Okay, so I'm going to put the link for that in the description. We are affiliates with LifeWave, so if you guys do decide to use them, I'd ask you use our link. It does give us a little kickback. We'd appreciate it. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about, hormone reset, destroying insulin resistance and fat storage. Here's what they don't tell you about the slow roll, the diet and exercise route. Traditional diets are actually going to help to keep insulin levels high because you're constantly eating. Even if you're eating healthy food, even if you're eating small meals a day, you're eating. So insulin levels are going to be high. All right. This is going to lead to constant fat storage. Now, if you utilize dry fasting, which is what we've been talking a lot about lately, that's what our challenge is surrounded by. You're going to get in ketosis very quickly. And then, of course, that's going to lower insulin rapidly. So we're getting rapid weight loss. We're getting rapid lowering of insulin or controlling of insulin. This is going to force the body to burn stored fat as fuel first, and then you'll get into using ketones, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Another tool that you guys could use comes from LifeWave to help upregulate this is called the SP6 patch. This actually upregulates the endocrine system, which is going to improve your metabolism and also your digestion. So you want to make sure that when you're doing rapid weight loss, you're detoxing well, as at the same time. It's very important that you don't just jump into doing rapid weight loss without any preparation or understanding how it functions, because then what you can do is you can see some benefit, but you can also see some detriment, right? So I'm gonna say this is a video just kind of about the highlights of it. If you guys want to learn more about it, I would say, hey, come look at some of my more recent videos where I talk about dry fasting and we talk about this deep, autophagy that you get from dry fasting, so you can understand holistically how to do it, properly. But the SP6 patch from LifeWave will actually help you upregulate the endocrine system. So I'm recommending that with this as well. All right. The third point I've got is extreme fat loss without muscle loss. Weight loss and fat loss are two different things. We want both, right? We typically when we have, let's say 50 to 100 pounds to lose, we're probably going to be looking for fat loss and weight loss. Fat loss is fat. Weight loss is oftentimes attributed to your quote unquote water weight, which is, inflammation. Okay. So why this is important is ketosis actually preserves lean muscle mass while also accelerating your fat burning. So when you are utilizing something like dry fasting, remember, it helps get you into ketosis faster than anything else. It is a crazy jump start. It's going to get you into ketosis. That means that you're going to start preserving your lean muscle mass right away. So you don't really have to worry about that. And then, of course, it's going to accelerate your fat burning, because dry fasting is about 3 times more efficient than water fasting. So we see an upregulation of everything, right? Like everything works better, more efficient. You get more out of it, but you also get stronger detox symptoms, which is why I'm coupling some tools with this so that you guys I don't want you to get whammed in the face by dry fasting. I want you to have a great experience. So some of these tools are going to help ease you into it and just make sure you're detoxing well. All right, now, rapid inflammation reduction and detoxification. So I kind of touched on that briefly a minute ago. Why this is important: inflammation is the root of most weight gain, disease, and pain in the body. There are wellness practitioners in history that will tell you that all disease comes from inflammation. When I started to research it myself, I found that inflammation, which is also attached to cellular dehydration, is definitely embedded in pretty much all disease. Now, I attribute the key problem when it comes to disease, I attribute it to cellular dehydration. But inflammation, dehydration, some people attribute to like a backed up colon. It really doesn't matter. It's like no matter where you look, all of these elements are at work, right? So it's important to hydrate well. And inflammation typically is telling you, hey, I'm dehydrated. As one of the reasons why the body will hold on to a lot of water is because you are not hydrated at a cellular level, right? When the cells become inflamed, there's water can't get in, but also waste can't get out. So they're kind of one and the same problem. So what dry fasting does is it forces the body to burn inflamed, damaged tissue for energy, accelerating healing and fat loss. It's going to open up those, it's going to kind of force those cells open so that the damaged material and the cellular waste can come out. And then, of course, at the same time, when you are dry fasting, because you're not taking in water, the body utilizes any water in the system. It uses its internal waters to then rehydrate the cells. It's a perfect process that happens. So you don't have to play a big role in this. You just got to get out the way and let the body do what it does. But this is one of the keys to why dry fasting is so powerful. The body will self-hydrate. It'll also force open the cells. It'll force out the toxins in the cells. It will burn away a lot of that, extra protein and stuff we just don't need. And so you're going to see a slimming and a trimming. You're going to see pain reversal because like a lot of pain is associated with inflammation. And you're also going to see the body start to rehydrate. So you're going to see better skin, cognitive functions going to increase. You're just going to see a lot of benefits. Now, one tool that I would say to support this process would be a castor pack. I'm going to put a link in the description. We actually have castor packs, but we sold out of them. But I have a link to a trusted source where I used to get my castor packs before I actually started selling them. I'll put that in the description for you guys. You want to make sure to get a healthy castor oil. All right. It needs to be hexane free and it comes in a glass. So I'll put that in there to make it easy for you. Also, what you guys can do to help in general with the detoxification, get yourself some Clean Slate. Okay, the Root Wellness brand has this product called Clean Slate, which I've talked about in recent videos, but it's basically a zeolite product that uses clinoptilolite. But what makes and separates it from other zeolite products is they have a fracturing process where the zeolite is able to retain its hexagonal structure. So the structure of the zeolite is what gives it a power to encapsulate contaminants. And they're able to fracture it to near nanoparticle size, so it can encapsulate very small particulates in your system, including heavy metals, glyphosates, and other irritants. So it is powerful, but is a passive detoxifier. But when you couple these two products together, it will almost ensure that you're going to get the minimum amount of detox symptoms, including like the keto tongue that everybody hates, right? When you start getting into ketosis, I call it the fasting detox tongue. Somebody else called it the keto tongue. If you've done any long-term fasting, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a very nasty taste in your mouth, and it gets really, really bad the longer you fast. These tools will help you to mitigate it. So once again, you don't have to use these tools, but they're here as options, and you don't have to get all of them. But my goal here is to help you understand the benefit of the tools, how they relate to your weight loss, the rapid weight loss, detoxification, and just making sure that you have a more clean experience as it relates to your fasting, your weight loss goals, your disease reversal goals. All right. Let's talk about loose skin. Now, traditionally speaking, with diets, they can actually cause loose skin. We all know that. That's why we have this fear of loose skin. So we know that traditional diet and exercise causes loose skin. If you've got probably more than 50 pounds to lose, there's a good chance that you're going to end up with an excessive amount of loose skin. I know in our community, we work with people that have probably on average about 100 pounds to lose. So most of the people that come to me or in our community are going to be susceptible to loose skin, right? If you guys watch our transformation videos, you will see I bring on time and time again people who have lost 50 pounds, 70 pounds, 80, 100, 200 pounds. And I ask them, do you have loose skin? And inevitably, they always say no. The only times they don't say no is if, sometimes people have used other weight loss methods. They came to us halfway through. So, if they didn't start with us, sometimes they will have a little bit of loose skin. But the thing is, fasting is so powerful, especially dry fasting. When you start using it, even if you already have loose skin, it'll start cleaning up that old loose skin as well. Now, it's better to not start with the loose skin, than to try to clean it up. It takes longer, but once again, it's better than having to go get surgery, right? Because any surgery we do could potentially put our well-being at risk. So when we look at, like, let's say we look at traditional water fasting, I have termed a phrase called the fasting shrink week. What happens during this time is your body, autophagy, goes through the roof. You see a massive boost. And what the body starts doing almost exclusively, it tightens and shrinks skin. You'll lose inches off of your waist, off your bust, or wherever you have problem areas in just a couple of days. Like, it's insane. But in exchange, you're not going to see the weight loss that you have been seeing. So this usually happens day 14 to day 21 on a pure water fast, right? Meaning you're going to do a 21-day water fast. Day 14 to 21 is when your shrink week typically happens. Now, with dry fasting, we typically aren't going to dry fast for 21 days straight, right? So, but with dry fasting, because it is about 3 times more efficient than water, you see a shrinking happen more rapidly in shorter fasts. So you're not missing out on it just because you're using dry fasting. It just presents differently because you're dry fasting. You may see weight loss and you might see that extreme shrinking happening at the same time. So that's not a bad thing. It's just something I want you guys to be aware of, because sometimes people get bummed out. They're like, oh, well, if I do dry fasting, I'm not going to get the shrink week. That technically you're not going to get the shrink week, but you are going to get an enhanced version of the shrinking and tightening. One tool that can support you guys with loose skin, and I've always promoted structured water. Okay, I just tell you guys different methods for how you can structure your water. The first method I ever talked about was sun charging your water. If you guys don't know about that, go watch my video talking about sun charging your water. It's plenty of videos talking about it. It's the science is there. When I very first started talking about it, people would make fun of me, call me crazy, but now the science is there, so no one's saying anything anymore. So that was the first way. It's a free way, but you're going to take your water through a process, right? But at that time, what I didn't tell you guys was I was also playing around with water structuring devices. And I might have mentioned it in a video here or there, but I didn't really talk about it a lot because water structuring devices, in my opinion, were very expensive at the time. And I didn't want you guys to feel like, oh, Chris is trying to say, in order for us to get this benefit, you have to use this device. So we're years past that now. I've been teaching guys how to do it naturally for years. At this point, I want to introduce a product by one of my longtime friends who was actually, I bought my first structuring device from him all those years ago. Patrick, he came on the show recently, and he's recently perfected his own water structuring device that has been third-party verified to actually structure water. It's called an Aqua Energizer, and I want you guys, if you have the resources to grab one, I want you to consider grabbing one. You can find that at the Wellness Enterprise. I'll put the link in the description, and then it's called the Aqua Energizer. He's got several different ones, so you guys can grab one, and then there's a referral code at checkout, which is Chris James. Okay. Mental clarity and cognitive function. Ketones are the brain's preferred fuel. So we talked earlier about how when you start dry fasting, you jump into ketosis very quickly. So if we're going to be able to get into ketosis quickly, and the brain prefers ketones as fuel, that's going to lead to enhanced focus, memory, and problem solving. You're going to perform better at work. Your attitude's going to be better. You're going to have better dopamine production. I mean, when your cognitive function is high level, you stop hitting your head up against the same wall. So some of you all have been struggling with weight loss. You've been going in circles, making the same mistakes, and you can't figure out why. I know I need to do better, but I can't seem to get myself together. Why? Well, you may have a cognitive decline. And I know you might be 30, you might be 40. You're like, Chris, that's an old person's disease. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of old people diseases that 30 and 40-year-olds are experiencing right now, right? So as our health has declined, as the food has become more toxic, as we have been more negligent about our health and wellness, our water is dirtier, our air is more toxic, we are seeing these old people diseases happening in midlife. Isn't it crazy to think that mid-30s is mid-life? Because people are only living to be 70, 75 years old. So when you're 35 years old, that is midlife. And so you're experiencing the same problems that you would associate with a 40-something-year-old person or a 50-something-year-old person, right? So we cannot just discard this, say, oh, that's an old person. We need to start working on our health and wellness now. If you start working on these cognitive things right now, you won't have to worry about them in the future. Like, why would you wait? Waiting is the worst thing you could do. If you have all your faculties now and you can make good decisions now, now is when you want to start focusing on your cognitive health. Now, I talked about the X39 earlier. I didn't even begin to tell you about all the benefits, but one of the benefits is that stem cell production also helps to increase the resistance to cognitive decline later on in life, right? But there's two other tools that I want to introduce you to help to boost cognitive function. Number one is Zero In. Zero In is by the Root Wellness brand, and it's a supplement that has a lot of really good whole food products in it. But the way it's formulated, it reminds me of the Limitless movie, right? That pill that they took in Limitless to like open up the brain and just have crazy focus and productivity and just genius. That's kind of what the Zero In pill does. It's a capsule, I should say. Okay, it just makes you laser focused. It helps you remember things better. It helps you perform better, but it allows you to focus on. You go from project to project, whereas some of like the typical medicines and things that are available for focus, they kind of like force you into like a one-track mind. Zero In still allows you to like jump around and do what you need to do, but you get the focus when you're deciding, okay, I want to focus on this. You also get an upregulation of your dopamine production, your serotonin production, your melatonin production. These are all tools that the body uses to help keep you balanced, alert, happy, and healthy. It also allows you to sleep properly. Now, coupled with Zero In, if you guys are having issues with sleep, I want you to know about the Silent Night patch. Okay, it's one of the light therapy patches. I talked about LifeWave earlier. They have a patch called Silent Night. So if you do have problems with sleep, you could use Silent Night specifically for sleep, or you could use Zero In for focus, clarity of mind, many different things, including sleep, or you could use them both. Okay, just not at the same time. Don't use them at the same time. Take one early in the day. Use your Silent Night at night, right, before you go to sleep. But Silent Night helps to enhance deep sleep. You're going to get into REM state faster and stay there longer. You'll probably notice that your dreams become more vivid, and what this is going to do is allow you to recover. So when you start detoxing, this is one thing you guys got to understand. The majority of your weight loss is going to come out of your mouth through your breath. When you sleep, you have more regular breathing patterns. Okay, when we're awake, we do this shallow breathing thing. We don't have deep breaths. So when you sleep, you tend to have more regular breathing patterns. So you're going to lose the majority of your weight while you're asleep. When you get into that deep sleep, that is when your breathing is optimized. It naturally optimizes. So the longer you're in your deep sleep, the more weight you will lose. And I actually just had we haven't done an official interview yet, but I can't wait to bring him on the show. Daniel, we just spent the last going on 2 months together, but his first month or maybe 6 weeks. No, well, okay. He ended up losing 100 pounds in 75 days. Okay. But his first 40-day fast, he actually did 46 days, and I think he lost 82 pounds, okay, or 84 pounds. He basically broke the record. He was losing, on average, about 2 pounds a day on a 40-plus day fast. We have never seen that. Not on a water fast. We have never seen that. And I think I would attribute it to a lot of these tools that I'm telling you guys about, he was using, okay? So he was getting better functionality out of his body. They're enhancers. You do not have to use them. I just want you guys to be aware of them. All right. Destroying food addiction, right? It's not just about managing your portions and what you eat. We have to eliminate food addiction. Traditional diets are actually going to keep you psychologically dependent on food. Why? Because it's telling you to eat every day, multiple times, what you need to eat. Track this, track that. You're putting so much energy into food. How could you ever break a habit and all you do is think about it? Oh, how much should I take? How much should I do? When all your energy is focused on this habit, how are you ever going to break it? That doesn't even make sense logically. So if you are struggling with food addiction, what would be the best thing to do? Remove food. Take it out of your mind. Start focusing your energy on other things. And whatever you focus your energy on is what you're going to start to manifest. All right. So if you guys are dealing with food addiction, fasting is one of the greatest tools. Also, fasting is going to reset the hunger hormones. Okay. So you've got the mental process that's working because you're not sending your energy there. Then you've got the physical process that's working. And then you've got your taste buds. Your taste buds reset. You do long stints of fasting repetitively. When you come off, you eat clean, you reset your taste buds. So now you're not thinking about food nearly as much. When you are thinking about food, you want to eat healthy foods. So all of this is going to help you to lose weight more rapidly. It's going to help with disease reversal. It's going to help you feel better. And as you start to get the benefits of fasting, you want to do it more. Think about it like this. If you guys have ever saved up $1,000, the first time you ever saved $1,000 in your bank account, maybe back in the day, you call the bank and the bank is like, you have 1,000, and you just hang up the phone. You don't need to hear nothing else. You got more than $1,000 in there. What does that do for you? It makes you want to save more. Like if you've never had that much money saved, you think, oh my God, I've got $1,000 in a bank account. You naturally want to save more. So think about it. When you're fasting, when you're eating well, when you're being consistent, you are putting dollars into your wellness bank account. And when you get to 1,000, right? Meaning maybe you've lost 50 pounds or 40 pounds or whatever that milestone might be for you, you start to get excited. Maybe you've been in pain for 20 years, and for the first time in 20 years, you're not in pain. Maybe you have sleep apnea or you snore, you don't get good rest, and for the first time in 10 years, you were able to get a good night's rest, or you dreamed for the first time. You've got $1,000 saved in your wellness bank account, and now you're motivated. This makes everything else easier. So when we talk about using fasting as a lifestyle, this makes it much easier to do because you're seeing benefit. You're naturally motivated. All right. Faster reversal of chronic conditions. This is all the benefits of this rapid weight loss that they tell you is so bad. Okay. So if you can reverse your chronic conditions quicker, you're more likely to be successful. Right? Like, let's say that you've been dealing with type 2 diabetes and you've been a type 2 diabetic for 10 years. You're taking medication for it. You're spending a lot of money on it. It impacts your life, what you could do, things of that nature. It just makes you a little weird about going places and all that stuff, right? If I tell you it'll take you 2 years to reverse it, that's great. You've had it for 10. That is a great time frame, right? The problem is it's very difficult for someone to be consistent for 2 years. That's hard to do, especially depending on what kind of benefits you're seeing. Like if you're not seeing things happen rapidly, or if they're happening so slowly that you can't quantify it, let's be honest, you're probably going to quit before you can see the results. What if with proper dietary strategy and fasting, you could knock it out in 30 days? Do you think you could be consistent for 30 days? Or if you don't knock it out completely in 30 days, do you think if you could be consistent for 30 days and see enough benefit to where all you need is another 2 weeks, let's say 6 weeks total to knock it out, do you think you'd be motivated to go ahead and finish off them next 2 weeks? Yes. Right? So you don't even have to necessarily do it all within 30 days. If it takes 6 weeks, cool, as long as you're seeing the benefit. So using something like dry fasting is going to, once again, you could utilize the ketones, all right? That's going to help you to reverse things like diabetes. It's going to help lower blood pressure. It's going to improve gut health in just weeks. Water fasting's slightly slower, right? Traditional diets actually are going to slow the progression of disease. So they're completely reversed. Traditional diets slow the progression of disease. Dry fasting increases the speed of reversal of disease. They're on completely different opposite ends of the spectrum. Now, one thing you guys could do if you're going to be using dry fasting or even water fasting, you can schedule yourself regular colonics. I recommend, if you are actively fasting, you could do a colonic once every 2 days, right? Not a colonic, do an enema. Do an enema once every 2 days. If you're not doing the enema once every 2 days, you could do a colonic like once a week when you're actively dry fasting, because you're going to be putting toxins, waste material into your intestinal tract, your colon. You're going to be rehydrating all that old garbage. It needs to come out, and the water irrigation helps. Okay? Once again, you don't have to do it, but these are tools that'll help make sure that you don't feel discombobulated and weak and fluttery and all the stuff that comes along with fasting. All right? You also get increased metabolic efficiency. Right? We're not doing no starvation mode. We do the complete opposite when we utilize rapid weight loss through dry fasting. We don't got to worry about starvation mode. Starvation mode is when you use a caloric deficit along with traditional dieting or exercise. That's what causes starvation mode. It's not a real thing when it comes to fasting, but they try to put that on us in the fasting community. Look, man, don't project starvation mode on me. Just because you guys experience starvation mode with your outdated, diet and exercise technology, don't put that on me. We're advanced. We're the future. We're actually the past because it's an ancient technology, but we're bringing it to the future. All right. So a lot of the tools I've already talked about will help to improve metabolic efficiency in addition to fasting. Okay, but you could do it with just the fasting, all right? You don't got to. Now, there's a psychological edge that you get. This is the reason why momentum matters. We talked about this earlier, all right? When you're seeking dramatic results quickly, it keeps you motivated. Unlike slow dieting, which leads to frustration and ultimately failure. When things take too long, you become disinterested. Right? And when you don't want to do it anymore, it becomes so much harder. But when you are excited because you are seeing results faster than you could track, you're like, I lost this much weight, the inches, my skin, my hair. You're like, all I know is I got to keep doing this thing. When you've been doing something for 3 weeks and you're like, I haven't noticed anything, you're already ready to quit. Even if the thing tells you, hey, do it for a month. If you don't notice anything, you just be like, bruh, I'm good. But imagine a tool that you could use that you start seeing benefits day one. If you guys start dry fasting today, okay, let's say today at 5 p.m. By 5 p.m. tomorrow, Monday afternoon, you will see dramatic differences in your physiology. Just one day. So it helps to keep you motivated. That psychological edge can be a tool that you use. Now, I want to invite you guys to join AHA communities, okay? AHA communities is a space for like-minded individuals. We fast there. There's literally thousands of people there. It's very active. People are always looking for accountability partners and buddies and all this other stuff. We have lots of extra little goodies that we add when you guys are a part of the membership. It is free. Okay? It's free. Go to AHA, put in www, gotta use the W's, www.ahacommunities.com. Okay? www.ahacommunities.com. I keep trying to say a healthy alternative. You know what I'm talking about. All the links are going to be in the description, so it doesn't even matter. All right? So come join, ask questions, get engaged. If you guys are on the fence about any of this, that's a great space to come and just ask everybody, hey, what was your experience with the dry fasting? What was your experience using a structured water device? Have you guys ever used the LifeWave patches? What did you experience? You don't got to take my word for it. I have created a space for everybody to come free of charge. And it's not Facebook, y'all. Imagine that. A community that is owned by AHA. It's not Facebook. It's our platform. It is a light amongst the darkness. It is such an amazing space. Come, ask your questions, and then get clarity. And then you'll know what, makes sense for you, what doesn't. All right. So hopefully this all makes sense. Why rapid weight loss is so much better than traditional slow roll, diet and exercise, calorie counting. I really wanted to make this a fun video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button for me. Let me know if this video makes sense for you in the comment section. Let me know if you've done rapid weight loss in other methods, and let me know what that experience was like. I'm curious to know so that I can, use examples and maybe give you guys a little advice if you need it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you guys in the next video.